The Lion King was another great Sega Megadrive game from my childhood that I really enjoyed. But in 2020, does it still stand up as a good game, or is it a bit shit nowadays? Find out in today's review. So one of the strongest things about the Lion King video game is just how close it actually sticks to the film it's based upon, which for a Mega Drive game at the time is quite surprising, as a lot of them, like Aladdin, took a lot of liberties with the actual events of the movie and kind of just did its own thing for the most part. Whereas the Lion King, even though it does have some own unique levels, the majority of the levels you actually play is very much part of the movie. You get to experience the whole of Simba's journey, and all the key events are here, and all those moments that you loved from the film are here, from exploring Pride Rock to the I Can't Wait to Be King section where Simba's swinging on monkeys and riding animals and flying around the jungle all excited, to the boneyard bit where he sneaks into the hyena den and they all chase him out of there. Then of course you get to do this Stampede bit, which is amazing and terrifying at the same time. It's so intense running through it. It's a really good level, but more on that one later. Of course, it wouldn't be a movie about Lion King if you didn't get to do the Hakuna Matata section, though unfortunately Timon and Pumbaa aren't actually in this level. You then get to actually play as older Simba, as at the end of the movie it advances time a bit, before you eventually get to fight Scar at the top of Pride Rock. It's all there and it all feels great. So one thing a platformer must get right is the actual platforming sections, you know, where you jump from ledge to ledge, and unfortunately Lion King is a bit inconsistent with this, as Simba, both the young and adult versions, just doesn't seem to ever want to grab onto the ledges 100% of the time. You can make a jump and feel like you just bang on the target and he will just fall through it to his death. It's really, really annoying. The I Can't Wait to Be King level features a really cool monkey puzzle section that I know pissed a lot of people off when they first played the game, as they didn't actually get what you had to do. But I think it's a really fun puzzle that actually gets you to think for a change, instead of just steamrolling through the levels. So the aim of the level is to get the monkeys to swing you across to the next section, but when you jump on them and they throw you, you'll often find that these pink ones throw you the wrong way. The trick is to get up to them by standing on one of the birds' nests in the trees and roaring at them, as this will frighten them and cause them to move position on the tree branch. Then when you get to swing on them again, it causes them to throw you a different way. It's a really nice little puzzle and I think it works really well. And they use it a few times throughout this section and it's always fun to do. I thought it was challenging but fun. While I love the monkey puzzles in this level, the bird sections are an absolute pain in the arse, purely because of the double jump bits. I can just never time it right. It always looks like I'm going to make it, but then either the bird hits the bird's nest, or Simba's leg clips the nest, and then I just fall to my death. It's a right finicky fucking jump. You have to get it in the exact precise spot, otherwise you're just going to fail this and lose all your lives. It's a right pain, only saved slightly by this collection's rewind feature, otherwise I'd just be fucking giving up here, I think. Another cool thing about the Lion King video game is its great use of voice clips from the movie. You get to hear the hyenas, Mufasa, Timon, and best of all Scar, and the voice clips themselves sound great. They did a really good job of adding these, and it really adds to the overall experience of the game.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
There's a really annoying bit in this level where Simba has to chop down some vines to free up a boulder, and well, just look at it. dead. Yep, that's right, dead. So, unless you're in the exact spot the game wants you to be in, you'll actually die as soon as you drop the boulder. It's a fucking pain in the ass. I mean, if I didn't have the rewind feature of this collection, I'd be well pissed off. It's just so annoying. Just like the Aladdin game, you get to play as the animal sidekicks in the Lion King game, in the form of bonus stages. These games don't last very long, but they're always fun to play. In Pumbaa's, you have to collect bugs as they drop down while avoiding spiders, and the same thing sort of happens in Timon's one, whereas here, it's a bit better because you can just freely move around. You have a time limit, so you don't have long to collect many, and the more you collect, the closer you get to getting a continue or a one-up. Though, avoid those spiders as they will kill you instantly. And look at Timon go, his running animation's awesome. What is it with Disney games and bats as enemies? They're a right fucking pain in the arse in this game, just like they were in Aladdin. They're always placed in really awkward positions when you just really don't need an enemy like this in your way. Fuck me, they were such a pain in the arse to take out. The Stampede level in The Lion King is absolutely intense, and it's a really fun one to play, though, like me, back in the day, this is probably where a lot of people lost all their lives and continues, as it can be quite tough and nerve-wracking to try and dodge the herd as they rush towards you. Visually, the level is really nicely done, with the scrolling background and these scaling sprites creating a nice 3D look to the level. It's a really intense one, but it's actually decent and fun to play, and it's not as bullshit as the Aladdin cave escape level on the flying carpet, as you can have plenty of time to avoid the obstacles, and the things that are coming in front of you, like the rocks that can trip you up, will flash a few times so you know where they are before they get there. It can be a little tricky timing your jumps, but best of all, you have health so you don't just die instantly, which was an annoying part of the Aladdin levels, and it's thankfully fixed here. So I've already said the boulders are a pain, but they're even worse when you're getting chased by them, as they can kill you in one hit. Look at this bit here. What the hell was I supposed to do here? Fucking joke. As mentioned, The Lion King does stray from the film at times, and one of the best examples of this is the gorilla boss fight in the Hakuna Matata level. So for this boss fight, you have to avoid his rocks that he throws, and then jump on him as he slams on the ground, forcing him to then move to the next platform, and you repeat the process. It's a great little fight, and the ending is really funny. Bye bye, gorilla. I really hated the sections where you had to stay on a platform as it moved, and then at some point you had to jump off it and run along and try and keep up with it to then later jump back on it. These were just really annoying sections, and most of the time, especially the first time through, I found myself not keeping up and then just dying because another one just wouldn't spawn. What a load of bullshit. Towards the end of the game, you get to play as an older Simba who brings with him a load of new moves. And I've got to say, old Simba takes no shit from anyone. I mean, just look at him and how he smacks those monkeys. Fucking get out of the way. Old Simba really helps to freshen up the gameplay, as you have a lot more moves at your disposal now, and you can actually fight more competently against the hyenas thanks to your little claw swipes and your jumping slash attack. You can also roar a lot louder, especially when compared to young Simba, who had a bit of a weak roar and he had to mostly just avoid enemies or jump on top of them to defeat them. It's a really interesting take on the game, as it does, like I say, freshen up the gameplay, and it adds a bit of spice to it, because at this point it probably was getting a bit repetitive, and the older Simba just is a lot of fun to play as, and it just freshens up the game, and it's a really nice addition. At the end of this level, you drop down into this room, which is pretty much a dead end, as you can't climb back out and you can't progress any further to the left. In the room are these 4 small volcanoes that erupt, and then a bunch of boulders will drop down from the ceiling that you need to dodge. So, what the fuck are you supposed to do in here? Well, strangely enough, you're supposed to just wait it out, trigger a volcano to erupt a few times, and eventually a large rock will fall down from the ceiling to clog up that volcano. You have to do this for all 4, and it's just a really awkward section that just sort of doesn't work as well as it should, because you sort of just like aimlessly running around, or you'll probably die from all the boulders at some point before you even see what you're supposed to do. It's just awkward. If there's one level in The Lion King that I absolutely hate the most, then it's Simba's Return, the penultimate level of the game, where you're trying to get back to Pride Rock. So, I've completed this game at least twice now, once in this collection, and once on the Megadrive back in the day, and I still don't have a clue what you actually have to do in this level. Do you have to clear out all the hyenas? Is there a particular route you have to go through all the caves to find the exit? I'm not sure, and I just don't like this level. I wasted so much time on this level the first time I played it, just aimlessly going through all the holes in the caves, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. It's just a monotonous bore fest of a level where you're just constantly slowed down by all the hyenas you have to fight. Because for some reason, you can't go out into another exit, through another cave, until you've cleared out all the hyenas on that screen. So it just means you're just constantly taking hits, because the combat system in this game is a bit finicky. Sometimes you'll jump on their backs expecting to do that 3 or 4 hit combo, when you'll just bounce off and get hurt yourself. It's really inconsistent, and it really shows the bad combat system on this level, because it just goes on, and it's just not enjoyable. I don't like it. The lightning strikes on the last level of the game are really annoying for a few reasons. The main one is because when it occurs, it absolutely clogs up the game and slows it right down to a crawl. The frame rate just completely drops. Another reason why they're bullshit is because they burn the platforms that the lightning strikes, and if you don't jump across at the right time, you can find yourself in a loop where all of the platforms are getting burned, so you can't actually get up to Scar and fight him. It's a really annoying bit, made worse by the fact that the game just slows right down, because then your jumps are even harder to do, because you try and jump across and the game just slows to a crawl. It's just an annoying section. They shouldn't just light up all the platforms. It should just be a couple, because it is a nice visual, but as it stands, it's just an annoying section to try and get through. The thing that stops The Lion King being an awesome game for me is the final boss fight with Scar, as the game just completely drops the ball and lets itself down. Perhaps it's a consequence of being too faithful to the actual film, in that you have to throw Scar off, or maybe it's just a massive oversight on the game design that you'd never actually know you can do this move. So to kill Scar, you have to knock his health down until he starts to pant, and then you have to throw him, which actually sounds quite simple and straightforward. However, the problem is, up until this point, the player has never used this move, and they've never been required to use this move, and the game has never actually shown you how to use this move, so unless you've looked in the manual and tried to figure it out from there, you would have no clue that Simba could even throw people like this. It's such a massive flaw in the game that I know a lot of people in the Megadrive days failed on, myself included, for at least a few weeks before a friend probably told me or something. What it boils down to is a monotonous fight with Scar at the top of Pride Rock, because you will be trying all sorts to try and nudge him off the edge, or just try and finish him in general. You'll try and smack him to death, which doesn't work. You'll try and jump on him and claw him, which again doesn't work. You'll try and nudge him to the edge yourself, which doesn't work, because he then just jumps over you to get away from the edge. You'll just try everything, and you'll just fail and fail and fail and fail again and again and again, until probably you just get lucky and you jump at the right time and press the right button and you magically do the throw. And then you have that awkward thing where you try and figure out what the fuck you just did, what the hell you just pressed, until you finally figure it out and finally learn the throw move. It's just a sad way to end an otherwise great game, and it does leave a bitter taste in your mouth of just how shittily designed this last fight was. What a shame. For me, The Lion King is a good game despite all its flaws. Visually it looks just like the film, and it also sounds like the film, especially with all the voice actor clips that it uses, so in that respect it's an extremely faithful rendition of the movie. However, it's its gameplay that kind of lets it down in parts, because A platformer should be good with jumping. I should be confident when I jump and grab a ledge, but in this game it's just way too inconsistent. A lot of the levels are really fun to play through, but there are a few where it's just a bit monotonous, like the Simba cave level, and the later sections with adult Simba aren't as fun as they should be, thanks to some finicky combat. Overall though, it is a fun package, and it's definitely a Disney classic, and for good reason, so go and check it out if you can. Cheers, bye.